Hi, welcome to the new season of The In Charge Show. We are now filming at Ludlow Community Television in Ludlow, Mass. I'm Tara Brewster with Alfonso Santinello and Mike Connolly. Each episode we will go over 3 different segments from our bag of tricks. Those will include End Truth, End Start, End Cash, Employees, End News, End Sale, and also featuring Entrepreneur of the Week. This week's segments will include End News, Employees, and of course, Entrepreneur of the Week. And this time Al is going to start us off with End News.
Yes.
Yes, it's official. I'm starting.
I'm starting it off. I am drawing a blank right now.
Yahoo.
Yes.
Jerry A.
One of the original co-founders of Yahoo, which Yahoo started in 1995, is leaving Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, Yahoo they've been losing a lot of key players. Less than a year ago, the CEO left. Now one of the co-founders, it's leaving in the position of how stable Yahoo is going to be in the future. And they've already said that they're possibly getting rid of their search function in the near future, and turning it into a news site because they've already partnered with ABC. So it's kind of, Yahoo is in lingo. I personally have never used it, so I don't know how many other people do now, especially with Google being in the forefront. But he said it was nothing personal. He had a great time, but it was just his time to leave. So I'm just more questioning what's in store for Yahoo in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think that yesterday was big, but I feel like it was sort of expected.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people thought that Jerry was the one that had to go. I don't know if he ever recovered from the not selling of Microsoft mistake. I mean, I feel like all of the shareholders, stockholders, and also the employees were sort of upset or not really as confident about Jerry as they had been in the past. I mean, that's a $47.5 billion mistake. Like that's a lot of money.
That's like a house on each continent.
That's like, it's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, and also they just hired Scott Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, he just came on, I think, on the 4th of January. So, I think a little bit of Scott's deal too was like, okay, well, if I'm going to come on and I'm going to take the reins of Yahoo, then, Jerry's kind of got to go because Jerry's like the past and I'm all about the future.
And sometimes, you got to get rid of some of the old school thinkers, old school players, and it hurts, especially when it's your baby and you started it. But I mean, I'm sure he's compensated very well, and he's going to start something bigger and better, and that's a part of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of like, they always say, like, you don't want to stay at a job too long because then you sort of get stagnant and your resume gets stagnant and, like, you're not adding enough skills and assets to yourself or to your resume.
Well,
so
you look at like Apple and Microsoft and the people that have come and gone and come back, companies go through changes. Companies are still going to be there. The management team or the upper level board members, they change on a regular basis. So they're probably restructuring where they need fresh blood for new ideas and to move forward because of all the changes that have been going on. And how, Bing has surpassed them in the search engine now. So Yahoo's dropped to number 3. So they're probably restructuring their whole, the business as a whole. So, him leaving is probably just the beginning. And I can foresee in the future that in the next few months that Yahoo is there's going to be a lot more coming out from Yahoo. And it might be their PR, just like letting people know, just to get Yahoo's name out there, so people end up logging into Yahoo again and kind of, going through that.
You said Yahoo?
Oh,
Yahoo!
Exclamation point! Yeah, exactly. Who?
Who?
All right. So moving on. The next topic that we're going to talk about is employees. And one of the things that we all kind of went over was this article by Jeff Hayden, and he was talking about 7 must-have qualities for employees. And, I think that it's really interesting how everyone sort of has their own. These are the qualities that I look for in an employee, and, usually there's a lot of overlap, but I feel like this one by Jeff, I was sort of like in disagreement about, because one of the things he said was he wanted his employees to be different. He wanted them to be like not your run-of-the-mill employee. And then the second thing was he'd rather have someone be personable than be polished and put together on the outside. The third one was an 8-hour commitment. He liked employees that were there for their scheduled amount of time, and they didn't care what they had to do, whether it was cleaning toilets or mopping the floor or all of the other things they were supposed to be doing, so long as they were committed to the 8 hours. He wanted them to have one outstanding skill, not concentrated so much with like the structure of the company, willing to sort of go out of the box. He wanted them to have a takeover attitude and sort of be able to really take on whatever tasks or whatever demands were presented to them. And then he liked when people came to him and asked him for a job. I don't know, like
I think, I mean, this is an article we found on Inc.com, so you can look it up, but it varies for the industry that your business is in. Some of those I agree with for my marketing agency, but other things, no. For me, the type of business that I do, they don't physically have to be there for 8 hours. And if they're there for 8 hours and I'm making them mop the floor, then I shouldn't be paying them to be mopping my floor. There's certain things I agree with and I disagree with. Personable, yes, but they still need to be polished. I don't want them like grungy and sweatpants coming to work. Like that's no.
Right. Like
yeah, I think it depends on the type business, like you said. But I also like if you're in startup phase and you're a fresh entrepreneur, you almost want to have this employee. To me, seems like an entrepreneur B. So like it's like I remember I was watching
the one all do all
right. I was watching Your Business one time, and J.J. Ramberg, the host, was saying how sometimes you need to have that employee that's that's willing to help you put the IKEA furniture together. You don't want to have someone saying, well, that's not my job description. So sometimes I think
IKEA furniture is a pain.
It's a big part. I think this guy, what he's touching on, it really depends on what type business and what, where you at in business, because these type personalities traits can be great, but they also can be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, I think it matters like whether you're kind of like customer facing or not customer facing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for us at Jackson and Connor, being on the floor and being, presentable and trying to sell, middle to high end clothing to men, like you need to come to work polished and dressed and personable and ready to go and like.
If you had your beard on, I wouldn't come. So.
Right. Exactly. If I had my 5 o'clock shadow, you'd be like, I don't really want to buy a suit from you. But yeah, I mean, no, I get all that stuff. Like I want someone to, be able to sweep and mop and Windex and do all of those things in addition to do, whatever they're expected to be doing. But they're expected to be doing all those things.
Exactly.
It's like you got to come to work and you got to be ready to work. I mean, it's not, we're not here to have fun and we're not here to play games. But
what I did like though, when he said he likes when people ask him for the job, that makes sense to me because you take an initiative, and if you come prepared to me, telling me why, how I could benefit from your services, I'm gonna pay attention to you versus someone coming in with a resume, give me a call and you get a shot.
Right.
Because you come in with the attitude that you already had to solve problems. Not that we had problems, but you see a more efficient way I could be doing something. I'm gonna pay attention to that. I really like that. Was my favorite. And ask for the job. Come and approach me. That's genius.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think if I had to say my 7 must-have qualities for employees, I would need them to be dependable people, honest people, committed people, presentable people, intelligent people, hardworking, and task-oriented.
Yeah.
You know,
like for me, honesty is one of the big things I think too. Not telling me the truth when I ask them a question, but if they see something that's not done right or that I'm doing wrong, as an entrepreneur, you need to take criticism very well. And if you have an employee or a coworker or a colleague or someone come up to you and say, hey, you messed up, that's the kind of honesty that I would look for in an employee. One that, has my back, not just as my boss, but as a coworker, because as an entrepreneur, you have to work throughout, depending on, like you're running Yahoo or anything like that, but tying into the last segment.
Yeah.
But
nice segue.
The segue. Honesty is a big thing. Dependability, like you said. The personal approach, I 100% agree with. The people that know me, I'm very like in your face in a good way. Don't be scared. But like the appearance, like you only get one chance to make the first impression. So if you're bringing this employee that is just wearing a polo shirt and khakis to a business meeting and the entrepreneur's all dressed up, then What does that say?
Right.
So, like even when the interns that come in and work for me, I tell them business casual unless we have to do something. Then I will tell them to dress up more.
My thing, what I like people that know how to make decisions. Whether you're right, whether you're wrong, just make a decision. And as long as you can explain that decision to me, because, excuse me, I make mistakes all the time. And, excuse me, I need someone that's willing to take, ownership, whether right, whether wrong. And I have no problem giving credit when someone's right, and I have no problem chastising when someone's wrong. So as long as we're growing together and we could form a team and it helps grow the brand, let's just do it. I need someone that I can depend on, rely on, and someone that can make decisions.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Mike, you're up. Entrepreneur of the Week.
So I really love this guy, first of all, because he's a dad, and he created a product based on his child. And I understood what he's saying. We're talking about Adam Nelson. He created this thing called Good Night Light. And anyone that has kids understand this. Like, I have 2 sons, and the little one, he's the one that climbs in my bed every night. And I'm like, dude, I don't even need an alarm clock because 5 o'clock he's coming in my bed. I know it. So what Adam did was...
Do you rent him out? Because I need an alarm clock.
Ew.
Stop. No, it wasn't like that.
No,
Oh, God.
that was funny.
Now these people are going to think I'm like,
Nah, but what he ended up doing was he
That
built
could be a
his...
good business.
oh, my God.
No, bad business.
Maybe in Amsterdam, not in America.
Nah, so what he did was he created this nightlight to coincide with the time his son will wake up, and he'll go from. And the cool part of it, he kind of used it as a training tool. It reminded me of the little dog and the bell and all that.
Oh.
And,
Yeah.
I was like,
It was totally like dog training.
yeah, it was. It was.
I was like, wow, it's like potty training, dog training.
I know, exactly, but it was great because he at nighttime the nightlight would light up like a moon. During the morning, the light up like a sun. And I thought it was genius how he was able. And I'm trying not to use the word genius as much, but I thought it was a great idea how he decided to turn that into a business and not a successful business. And now he's looking for ways to expand his brand. He's writing books and everything to go along with that. And that's, I mean, as a parent, I would get that, and as a gift giver, I would give that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great. And if he wants to, we could team up with him and do some stinky cakes along with that. Just kidding. But I thought it was smart.
Yeah, no, I liked it. And what I really liked about the article too was that he wasn't selling any of the nightlights.
Right.
And then his team was able to get an article or like a little like blurb in Parents Week or whatever the magazine was, or Parents, I think it was, and then instantly like sales like skyrocketed.
Yeah, Parents Magazine.
Yeah, and it's like that little thing, like that little like.
But it makes you wonder how many parents or people in general have these ideas that they either do but they don't turn into businesses, or the ideas that they don't pursue that are, they think it's obsolete, these little things that they don't think that people would want or buy. And then it turns into a simple nightlight that just helps your kids sleep and wake up to know when, and now it's a profitable business where they're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's funny, not to cut you off, but I remember
Don't ever do it again.
Sorry. I remember when whoa guys, whoa. I remember when
where's my nunchuck?
I remember when Donnie Deutsch had his show on called A Big Idea. I think it was on CNBC or CNBC, I think it was. And he always had this segment, it was something like, what's your aha moment?
Yeah.
And it was around the thoughts that when you have a problem and you say, man, it's got to be a better way. That means there's a market for that. Because if you're thinking that, chances are a few out of 100,000 people thinking of that. So it's never any silly ideas, no crazy ideas. Just put it out there. Just try. Most people get so caught up in the hows and the whys and the this and the that. They have great ideas and no one ever uses them. And sometimes you just have to do it.
You have to just jump in sometimes.
Like I said, just do the Nike approach. Just do it. Just go on and try it. And I mean, with this day and age with social media, we're talking about how he got into Parents Magazine, and then he do it, I think, like 80,000 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
He said they double every year. And now they're doing 460,000 in 2010 and looking at 1 million this year. That's crazy. But when you think about it, Parents Magazine and all the other magazines, they're looking for content. And with Twitter and Facebook and social media, now the little guys, like he's from Alpharetta, Georgia, the little guys from these little small towns could tweet these big companies, hey, take a look at me. And if you have a great product, they will come and find you.
It's an open platform for small businesses to get up there in front of the larger ones.
Exactly. I don't know how, I mean, we got into Inc. magazine, we got into the Boston Herald, NPR, and most of this stuff was done through social media. I mean, you know, and I think if you're genuine and you're not trying to come off as look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, because that's annoying. You just imagine a little kid that's always you don't want, you ignore that kind of noise. But when you approach it in the sense that, hey, here's how I can add value to what you have going on. You make it about the other people, the other business, the other brands, then people want to work with you.
Great. Well, is this it?
That's it.
It's a wrap?
It's a wrap.
One and done.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I mean, this is fun. I hope you guys are enjoying the new format and the new set and us. I hope. We'll tell by the views, I guess.
Yeah.
With the view count. I don't know. You guys want to close with anything?
Yeah, just make, you know, I want to share my favorite show that I'm watching right now. Undercover Boss is back on.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, love that show. It's funny because I'm talking about social media, and the guy who was on from Diamond Resorts, I think it was.
Yeah, I saw that one.
He did. I thought he did great, and I thought he was cool. But man, I read their Facebook page, and there's a lot of mad people, a lot of owners that were saying, well, you gave away X amount, 100,000. You should have fixed that light bulb in my room, you know. But that's the flip side of social media. But that's another thing.
It's just our PR department
deal with the good and the bad.
Yeah.
But watch Undercover Boss. Is a great show.
Yes. Also, we are officially on Facebook. We have our own page now. So go to facebook.com/InChargeShow, ENCHARGE show. Like us. Hang out. We'll be posting relatable articles on entrepreneurship and advice, and you'll hear from the three of us. We're on Twitter, same thing, In Charge Show, and
we'll post the articles we were talking about.
Yeah, we'll post those articles up for you guys to go through, and you know, go through our website and go through past episodes and see how we all started in the way back days of 4 months ago.
Moving on up.
Yep, moving on up.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. See you guys next time.
Bye.